It's 8:32. Last October, the Centers for Disease Control issued an order that stopped eviction actions by landlords against renters who said they could not pay because of financial hardships caused by the pandemic. Well, the ban had unintended consequences, and last week it was overturned by a federal judge. But what's next? Well, that's uncertain as the Justice Department appeals that decision. Real estate expert John Adams joins us now. John, first of all, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here. What's new, Buck?
Well, let's start with this. You're a landlord. So first, let's go ahead and talk about why the judge decided to overturn this eviction ban.
Well, let me read you exactly what she said, and it's very short. The question for the court is a narrow one. Does the Public Health Services Act grant the CDC legal authority to impose a nationwide eviction moratorium? It does not. And with those three words, she literally overturned the CDC national eviction ban nationwide. Now, immediately, the Justice Department appealed and said, whoa, we don't like this, and we still don't know exactly what the Biden Justice Department is going to do. But many people feel that the ruling was a correct one. I personally have checked the Constitution, and I don't find much mentioning of the CDC over on Clifton Road. Certainly nothing to do with real estate. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from here.
And that's what I was going to ask you. Where do we go from here? What are the next steps in this case?
Well, it remains to be seen. If Justice decides to appeal to the Court of Appeals or perhaps to the Supremes, then we'll see what happens. My guess is that in its current configuration, the Supreme Court would probably agree with Judge Friedrich, and in that case, the decision would stand. But again, we don't know. Many states, Buck, have their own eviction ban. Georgia does not. But many states do, and this does not affect state bans in those various states. But this has been an increasing problem for mom and pop landlords who own about half the rental units. They still have to pay the mortgage. They still have to pay taxes and insurance. In some cases, they're even paying for utilities, and yet they're not collecting rent. This is a problem that has to be resolved.
So let's talk about the renters, though. Where does this leave them if they can't afford to pay their rent because of this pandemic?
There's some good news out there. Do you remember the $25 billion that was signed into law late December by then President Trump that was designed to help out renters? Well, that money finally trickled down to Georgia. We got $700 million, which seems like nothing these days, but nonetheless, there's a website that people can go to see if they would qualify for renters assistance, and it's called georgiarentalassistance.ga.gov. And the good news here is the Georgia Department of Community Affairs is in charge of deciding who gets the money. They can pay up to 12, and in some cases, even up to 15 months of back rent, future rent, and even utilities. And they'll pay this money directly to the landlord if you qualify. Now, the key here is if you would have qualified under the former eviction moratorium, you probably will qualify under this particular grant, if you will. And I think it's real important for people to go take a look at this, because we are looking at a very real possibility of a substantial number of people being evicted. Obviously, nobody wants to see that, and I always encourage landlords and tenants to, try to work something out if they possibly can. But this is an evolving situation, one we're going to have to keep our eye on. And the key here is that we cannot plan on having this ban in place forever. Eventually, people are going to have to pay rent for where they live, because if they don't, we're going to have massive foreclosures, and probably sooner rather than later. So we'll watch and report.
John, thanks a lot. Interesting on both sides. We'll see how this one plays out. Thanks, John. And John's going to stick around to answer all your real estate questions on our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. He's happy to field all real estate questions, not just those related to today's topic, although I have a feeling he might get a few about that.